Hello, welcome. This is going to be a lesson on changing a graph into an equation of a line. So basically, how can I find the equation of a line if I'm given a graph? So the basic information that you need to remember is the equation of the line usually is just written in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. Okay, so remember, letter M stands for slope, and B stands for y-intercept, or where the line touches the y-axis. Okay. Also, we need to remember that slope is defined as rise over run. Rise is the movement up and down, and run is the movement left to right. Okay, so here we have two examples. So let's move down a little. Okay, the problem says write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form for each of the graphs below. So our job is to find the equation of this line right here. In order to find the equation of the line, I need two very good points on the line. Good points are defined as points or places on the line where it's touching the intersection of the grid line. If you notice, these little squares here is the grid line, and the grid line intersect at certain points. Okay, and the blue line over here is representing the graph that we're trying to find the equation of. So if you notice, the blue line is touching the intersection right there. So that is a very good point. There are many good points on this line. For example, here's another one. This one would not be a good point, but this one would. This one would not. Here's another one. And so there are many points that would be good on this line. Okay? So for example, I can choose any one of these points. Okay? I don't need all of these points, but these would be some of the points that you could use to find the slope. Okay? But we only need two, so let's select two points that are close to each other. That will make our life easier. So let's go ahead and select these two right here. Okay? And once you select those 2 points, you need to decide where you want to start. You want to start from the top or from the bottom. So let's say I start from the top. Okay? Remember, slope is defined as rise over run. So in other words, how much do I move up and down, up or down, and how much do I go left or right? Okay. Also, you might want to remember this, jot this down. If you move up, that would be positive. Let me erase that and make it a little bit nicer here. Give me a second. All right. Let's see if let's say if I go up, that would be positive. Okay. If I don't move up or down is 0, but if I go down it would be negative. And also if I move to the right it will be positive, and if I go to the left it will be negative. Okay, so here we go. I decided to start from the top, so for me to go from this top point to the bottom point, I would have to go down 3 squares. Because I went down, this would be -3. And to get to that other point, I need to run 2 squares to the right. So that would be +2. So in other words, my rise is -3 over +2. Now, a negative divided by a positive is negative, and my slope then is 3/2. So now you don't have to write all these things. I'm just writing to illustrate, but basically you choose 2 points, you went down 3, and you ran 2. So negative 3 divided by 2 gives you negative 3 over 2. Now remember, our goal is to write the equation of a line, so keep in mind that the form that equation of a line usually comes is in the form of y equals mx plus b. So let me move down a little bit here. We found out our slope to be negative 3 over 2. So we're going to plug it in right there. Instead of m, we're going to write what m equals to, which we found out to be negative 3/2. Alright, and I always put the x. Now our job is to find the y-intercept. The y-intercept is where the graph, so this blue line right here, touches the y-axis. So if you notice, the blue line and the y-axis cross each other, and they cross right here. And we need to know what is the y value of that point right there. So if you notice, you start counting from the center, from the origin. So if you go up 1, so that means your y-intercept is going to be positive 1. Okay? Alright, so that is the equation of our line. Alright, let's go on to the next problem. Okay? Remember, you need to choose 2 very good points. So let's say I choose these 2 good points. They're close to each other. And let's say, remember I told you it doesn't matter where you start. So let's say I start from the bottom this time. And if I start from the bottom and I go to the top, that means I would have to go up 1. So going up is positive 1. And I would have to run 3. So positive 3. So what is my slope here? Remember, slope is rise. I rose 1, positive 1, and I ran 3, positive 3. A positive by a positive is positive 1/3. So that means I'm ready to write the equation of my line, which is y equals mx plus b. And so instead of m, I'm going to replace that with 1/3 x. And my b is where the blue line touches the y-axis, and it touches right here. So starting from the origin, I go down 1, 2. So my y-intercept is negative 2. So here we go right there. So this is the equations of my line right there. Okay. Alrighty then. So now let's go down to the next problems. Again, here I have 2 other lines, and let's select good points. So if you notice, the first step, I'm going to do both at the same time here. I'm going to select good points on both lines. Once you select it, you need to decide where you're going to start. It does not matter where you start. So let's say I start from the bottom here. So to go to the top point, that means I need to go up, and I'll have to go up positive 4. And I would have to go over positive 1. Remember, slope is rise over 1, so my rise is positive 4, and my run is positive 1. So my slope is 4. Okay? So that means the equation of my line equals y equals mx plus b. So the equation will be y equals 4x. And my b is, where does the line touches the y-axis? It touches this point, which would be 1, 2. So it'll be positive 2. And there we go. So that is the equation of my line for this example right here. Alright, let's go to the next problem. Here I already chose 2 points. And let's say I start from the top this time. So that means I'm going to go down 2. Okay, so, and that would be negative 2. And I'm going to run 3 to the right, so that would be positive 3. So that means my slope is negative 2 for the rise and positive 3 for the run. So a negative divided by a positive is negative 2/3. Alrighty then. So that means my equation will be y equals negative 2/3 x, and now we need to find a y-intercept. Where does the line touch the y-axis? Right there. Start from the origin. 1, 2, 3. So it would be positive 3. And there we go. Okay, then let's go on to the next problem. Okay, the next problems are going to be special cases. Anytime you have a horizontal line like that or a vertical line, these are going to be your special cases. So these special cases are easy. Okay, all you have to remember is this. Look at the line. Where does the line touches? Okay, does it touch the y-axis or the x-axis? So in this case, it's touching the y-axis. So that means we're going to start the equation with y equals, and where does the line touch the y-axis? It touches at this point right here, which would be 1. Same thing goes with the vertical line. Where does the vertical line touch? Does it touch the y-axis or the x-axis? Well, it touches the x-axis. So that means you're going to use x equals, and now you have to figure out where does this line touch the x-axis. It touches right there. What is the x value there? Negative 2. Okay, please remember these are special cases and only works when you have a horizontal line or a vertical line. When you have a horizontal line, you're going to have y equals a number, and when you have a vertical line like letter D, you're going to have x equals a number. Okay, this concludes the review on writing the equation of a line when given a graph. Thank you very much for your time, and now you're ready to tackle the problems associated with this lesson. Have a great day. Bye-bye.